Hi there. You may have seen in my behind the scenes videos that I put snowflakes on my garage, and my garage actually still operates. It still opens and closes. Here are a couple of those snowflakes here. What I did in the past is I used a little piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and I just have screwed a magnet to the back of that piece of plywood, and I just stick it to it. Now it's kind of tight. There isn't quite enough room. You see about twisted the wires here. So what I've done, now that I've purchased a 3D printer, I have now printed out a little mag mount, basically, where I'm going to put a magnet in here. I have it threaded in here for a 3/8 inch bolt to go into it, and it will just thread into it. So I thought I'd kind of walk you through my what I've done and how I'm modifying it. Hopefully it'll help somebody else out there who's thinking about doing the same thing. So here's a close-up of the old system. You see a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and you'll see that is screwed to the wood, the magnet is. And on this side, I just have a screw with a washer on it to hold it in place. And what I'm going to use now are these. Hole in the center for the magnets, perfect size for the magnet to fit in there. Back side, 3/8 inch hole. I had some of these. I tried to make my own mag mounts that came with these mounting brackets used for like mirrors and things of that nature. I tried to make my own mag mounts, they didn't work so well. So I got a bunch of these that are 3/8 inch thread, 3/8 inch by 16 inch thread, and they work quite nicely. So I'll kind of walk you through the upgrade process that I'm doing, and I can share, if anybody's interested, I can share my Fusion 360 file, which you can use, or the STL file that you can use on any 3D printer if you want to print some of these. So when you print something in plastic that you're going to put a metal thread in it, you really need to chase it with a tap and die set. So I have just a cheap Harbor Freight tap and die set. It has a 3/8 inch bolt on it, and pure and simple, once you printed it and it's had a chance to cool, you just put this in the hole and clean it out. I'm wearing gloves because it's a little tight. Takes a little bit of effort. All right, all the way down. I'm going to unscrew it. You see there's some plastic on the end there. Put that back on my tap here. Let's do that one more time just to make sure it's nice and clean. You can tell it's a lot easier second time through. It's all done. All right, next to put the magnet on it. One of the reasons I'm upgrading my my snowflake magnet mounts is the plywood there. It's got damage from the weather. I mean, I just barely pulled on this and it broke in half. So that's the reason I'm going to the 3D printed parts. All right, putting another magnet in place. Just fits right in the hole, and I'm using number 6 screws by 1/2 inch long. I mean, depending on how if you design your own magnet mount, depending on how deep you make that hole, or what size of screw you can use. I just made mine to fit for a 1/2 inch. All right, now time to put the magnet mount on the snowflake. Just thread it in place. Sometimes they go easier, sometimes harder. That one went down nice and smooth. Let's do the other one. If it sticks a little bit, you may need to chase the threads one more time, or you might have to get a pair of pliers on the back side to hold it in position. You'll notice that the wires between the pixels are all twisted. I'll get a little closer for you. I've done that for a reason. If I left them untwisted, they would stick up higher. That would make the profile of the snowflake taller, And as a result, because of the clearances I had between my door frame of my garage door and the actual door, it would cause it to hit that door frame and they get knocked off. So by twisting them, it makes it through that clearance, so the door can go up and down. So installing the snowflakes in the garage door is quite simple. You just take the snowflake, pour it in the right direction. I have arrows there, and stick it to the door. The magnets hold them nice and secure. I have 3 snowflakes attached to the garage with the magnets interconnected with white cables between them. On the right hand side, you will see a looping cable going to the first one that will be connected to my controller. And I got a cable tie right here locking the wire in place, and I don't have it actually set up cleanly. I will do that when I have my controller set up. It'll go up around my outline for my garage and hide the cable. And this loop here will allow us to move the garage up and down with the snowflakes clearing the door sill. Let's get set up for that here. I got to get the garage door opener and I'll show you how it works. There you go. You'll see it goes up, clears the sill, and you'll see the cable come down and it'll flip up bump underneath the garage door. Looks like you have to tune it every time. I can remove some of this cable, take out some of the slack, and I'll do that every year. You'll need to also, I'll bring it down here. You also need to be careful how your door bends. You see how close that is? If I had it all the way to the top, it actually, of that panel, it might actually hit the door frame. So you sometimes have to tune it to lower it up and down to make it work. That pretty much walks through how I do snowflakes on my garage door, and my garage door is still usable. I've put 6 on this door with no issues at all. And the small door I'll put 3. And again, no issues. So bottom line is you make sure the profile is low enough, put a magnet on the back of the snowflake, stick it to the door with the magnet, and then you use a looping cable that goes up underneath the door and comes up and down. You'll have to play around with your own door. Your clearance on your sill may be different than mine, but with a little adjustment, I'm sure you can make it work. So I hope this helps somebody out there. You guys have a great day.